Welcome to the Maths Made Easy tutorial on prime factors. So in this video we'll go through a few different skills, starting with prime factorisation and factor trees. Now, a prime factor is any factor which a number has which is also a prime number, and a prime factorisation is a set of prime numbers which when multiplied together give a number. So for instance, the number 60, we can draw the prime factorisation of 60 by using what's called a factor tree. So to draw a factor tree, what we do is we divide 60 into several different numbers until all the numbers that we have left are prime. So let's illustrate this with the number 60. So 60 we can divide by 2 first of all. Now 2 is a prime number, so that gives us 2 and 30. So 2 times 30 is 60. Now anytime you do a factorisation and you get a prime number, you should circle it. So that helps you keep track of which numbers are prime. So then we move on to this 30 here, and we do the same thing. So 30 we can divide by 2 again. So let's circle the 2, and that leaves us with 15. So 2 times 15 is 30. And then finally, with 15, we can split this up into 3 and 5. So 3 times 5 is 15. And now all we're left with is prime numbers. So what we can do is we can say that 60 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So what we've done here is just multiplied all these prime factors together, and if you do that calculation you'll realise that it is the same as 60, or we can write it in index form as 2 squared times 3 times 5. So that is the unique prime factorisation of 60. So moving on then, let's have a look at another skill now, which is the highest common factor. So the highest common factor of two numbers, for instance 12 and 20, is the largest factor that both numbers have in common. So let's look at 12 first of all. What are the factors of 12? Well, we've got 1 and 12, we've got 2 and 6, and we've got 3 and 4. Then what about 20? Well, the factors of 20 are 1 and 20, 2 and 10, and 4 and 5. So, which of these is the highest number that is common to both? Now, well, if you look closely, you'll see that 4 is the largest value that's in both of these lists. So therefore, the highest common factor of 12 and 20, highest common factor we can write as HCF, is 4. Moving on then, the next skill is the lowest common multiple, or LCM for short. So the lowest common multiple of two numbers, let's look at 5 and 7 here. And the lowest common multiple is the smallest number that is a multiple of both of these numbers. So in other words, the smallest number that appears in the times tables of both of these numbers. So let's look at 5 first of all. Let's actually make that look like 5. So the 5 times table we can write out as 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and so on. And we can do the same for the 7 times table. The 7 times table is 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, and so on and so on. But if you look at both lists, what we're looking for here is the number that appears in both lists, and that's the smallest number that appears in both lists. We have a 35 in both. So in this case, 5 times 7 is 35, or 7 times 5 is 35. So the lowest common multiple is 35. If you're feeling ready to test yourself on this topic, you can do so with our online exam. It's available through our revision platform, and if you take the test you'll find loads of different questions to have a go at, all of which are really good preparation for your exams, and you get instant feedback on everything. So it's a really good way of keeping track of your progress and finding out where you need to improve. So if you're interested, you can click the link below and it will take you straight there.